Richard! Richard, help!
Sean,
Yeah, it's me!
why are you in a sewer?
I was looking for the turtles.
You were as pathetic as you are sad. Now listen to this, because it's a Pod Bros exclusive. I'll go get a ladder. What's up, everybody? I'm Richard,
And I'm Sean.
and we're speaking the language of bromance. And it has come once again for the time that bros become foes.
Bows! The battle lines have been drawn. It's man against man, beard against beard.
Oh, is it growing in?
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, that's sweet.
I got my haircut the other day, and I told the lady, I want you to try and make it look okay. Because when you get your haircut short and you get that big, thick beard, there's that weird area.
Yeah.
So I told her, I'm like, can you make sure it looks good? And she's like, yeah, I'll get it taken care of. It's like, yeah, I don't want to cut it. And she's like, yeah, I keep growing it out. And I was like, well, my wife hates it though. She's like, oh, well, make sure you keep the wife happy.
And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, cut my hair, please. But
I need a barber, not a marriage counselor.
but that's a great segue because during the zombie apocalypse, my beard will be massive, and then my team that I'm about to draft will dominate your team and take over whatever lands you claim as your own.
Oh, that's it's funny that you mentioned that because so far I think in terms of these drafts, I'm gonna say that I'm coming out on top. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'm calling myself reigning champion. So if you think you can unseat the king, you just fucking bring it, buddy.
Well, I will in the zombie apocalypse team draft, bitches! Woo! All right, so to fill everybody in on what these are our drafts that we do. It's 7 rounds. Way back when we started this, we flipped a coin to see who goes first. I got to go first. So on our odd drafts, I get the first pick. This being our 5th draft, I will get the first pick. It's NFL style, so there's 7 rounds. Whoever has the first pick in round 1 gets the first pick in round 2, so far down the line.
Right.
And then afterwards, we recap and ask the audience who they think had the best draft.
Yes.
And so for this draft, we are doing the zombie apocalypse team. What we're going to do is these are no demigods, no superheroes. I think we're going to eliminate Marvel or DC Comics altogether just to avoid any kind of confusion. And so the example that we use, so if you... I don't know if you have this person, but I thought this was a good example. For instance, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you could pick that person, but they wouldn't have the superpowers. What you'd really get is just kind of a smaller girl who knows a little bit of karate.
Right.
So no magic or anything like that.
Although still useful to have a girl that knows karate and training with weapons.
Yes, that is true. And you have to repopulate, so.
Yeah.
So my 7 picks are all just women.
Oh.
Odds are I'll get lucky, right?
Right. You'll be dead.
Tiffany's gonna see this draft and be like, where am I on this?
You're number 8, babe. we only go to 7 rounds, so I didn't I didn't squeeze you. I mean, you're there. You're just we just didn't talk about it.
We ran out of time, We have a time limit. There's no spots, right? I thought you could keep going forever.
That's time crunch.
All right, so if you're ready, I'll be ready to kick this off.
You go right ahead.
All right, so I'm really curious how these are going to go because this is going to be real strategy.
This is not only do you need to pick a team that's going to help you survive a zombie apocalypse, you also need to pick a team that's going to beat the other team. I feel that's the way I look at it.
Well, they could very well. These two teams could come up against each other, and who's going to win?
Right. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, spoiler alert. It's kind of like you're the group, and the other person is the terminus group.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So there you go.
All right. So for the first round, first pick of the zombie apocalypse team draft, I want somebody who in any kind of situation I can turn to and be like, what the fuck should we do here? How can we survive this scenario? And back in the early 2000s, there was a wide variety of these type of shows where these guys would go out in the middle of nowhere and try to survive. This is the one guy I think that actually did it because he would carry all the cameras by himself. He was actually dropped wherever he was supposed to go on his own and had to try and survive or find somebody. So for my first round pick, the guy who I think could, help me get through any kind of situation, I'm going to go with Les Stroud, the Survivor Man.
Oh, all right. I got to tell you, I'm kind of smiling because you didn't take my pick.
But this is a guy that, he can tell you in almost any kind of environment how to survive. He can make a fire out of sticks. I think he knows how to defend himself very well. He can play the harmonica, so if you need a little bit of entertainment, he's right there for you.
This is true.
He's going to be able to say, "Hey, don't eat that, eat that."
Yeah.
I think he's a good pick. He seems like he can be a strong leader, but he's going to be there more as an not an adversary, but like a advisement type role.
Right.
I don't think he's someone that's going to push anybody around. I think he's going to try the best to help everybody he can. And if you ever watch any of those shows, he can use almost anything that you give to him, almost like a MacGyver style, real life person.
Yeah.
Yep. So Les Stroud, Survivor Man is going to be my first round pick. Did you watch many of those shows?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I actually heard some of them might be kind of bogus. I heard like he stayed in hotels for some of them. I don't know, speculation. Like I'm not trying to call a guy out or anything. It's just I read on the internet, so it's got to be true, right?
Well, yeah. I know Les Stroud came out against a lot of those because a lot of them were, there's like 4 or 5 cameramen, and the guy's just kind of there. Like they're not the person in the show is not really in danger. But with like Les Stroud, he was actually taken and dropped in these places, and I think he had to quit the show because either insurance company or somebody was saying, "Hey, you're hurting yourself doing these things, so we can't have you keep doing it because it's just dangerous to your health." So he was actually out there in those situations. So experience-wise, I'm sure there was ways that if something bad happened, he probably could get somebody. But he was dropped in the middle of these places. He was the one that actually had to set up the cameras and do all the shots himself.
Yeah.
So he's even got some experience. So I think that would help in the zombie apocalypse.
All right. Not bad at all.
So now it is your move, sir.
All right. For my first pick, being able to survive and this, that, and the other. That's all great, but I don't think Survivor Man's gonna help you much against fucking zombies. Like when you're, being, chased down by a pack of zombies, I don't think building a fire or building a lean-to is gonna be the fucking go-to solution here. So what I need a couple boys that kick some ass. I need a couple boys that know how to kick ass, that are very proficient with firearms, and extremely calm under pressure.
So are we giving it sounds like you got a group coming in.
I do.
Are we going to allow groups or are we just going to allow one or the other?
I'll tell you what, you make that decision and then I'll let you know. And then I'll adjust accordingly.
Cuz I have somebody that comes with a group. But I only picked one of them.
Okay, well then I'll pick one of them.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Mr. Dean Winchester.
I
I
had him on my list. He is he knows how to handle a firearm, hand-to-hand combat. He's awesome at. He's even actually fought zombies. If you want to kind of almost like a dry run, if you will.
Yeah, all those things.
And he can drive pretty well.
Plus we got if it comes down to it, we got that kick-ass car.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind riding bitch in that car if he's driving. I'm down.
So I kind of see there being a little bit of drama though, because nobody touches Dean Winchester's radio. Can Richard keep his hand off of Dean Winchester's radio?
Well, yeah, because his choice of music isn't terrible. It's like Bon Jovi in Kansas, and So yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this radio selection, so it doesn't bother me that I can't touch the radio.
I'm trying to think if he's really calm under pressure. He's kind of got a soft spot for people, even though it's kind of hidden. Um, I'm just wondering if push came to shove, if he could. In a group of two, it seems like there's some struggle, but in a group of seven, I wonder how well he could handle maybe not being your leader, or was this the guy you would kind of give that
I'm the
sword
leader.
to? You're the leader.
Let's drop all the pretense there. I'm the one running this shit.
It's like, listen here, D-Dub. You're on my team.
D-Dub's my muscle.
uh,
And nothing more.
I like the pick too because he, you always wonder, it's like, okay, they can shoot, but he can reload his own ammo. So
Right.
ideally, if he's got the equipment, you can keep getting ammo. What else does he bring to the table?
Well, I mean, I'd say he might bring a general. Well, like I said, calm under pressure, good with guns, experience, which accounts for everything. So
Yeah, because I would give you, let's say that you put him in a world where there's not the things he's fighting, he would be a bounty hunter.
right,
So he would have that kind of experience.
exactly.
So I thought about the Winchester boys. Dean was the one I was going to pick, and I don't have Sam on my list, but I guess I'll leave it there. But I think there's some discussion that could be happen with Sam Winchester.
Well, yeah, but see, you gotta throw all the mystical stuff aside. I mean, blah blah blah, vessel of the devil, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think Sam's one of those guys that might cost you more than Dean would, because I think Sam's just a little bit more of not. I guess I would say he's a little bit more unpredictable.
Right.
So, all right, Dean Winchester, huh? That's
Dean
a good pick.
Winchester. All right.
Well,
number two.
So you've got some muscle. You got a guy who he can put some bullets together,
Right.
and he's pretty good at fighting. I'm gonna throw out another guy. I think he's kind of Dean-esque and could go toe to toe with Dean pretty well. He's not in any comic books that I've seen, but he is in I don't know if it's the #1 TV show on television, but it probably is. I'm gonna go with Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. Boom!
Oh!
So he can track, he can build his own arrows. He's pretty decent driving. He can hotwire cars. He's a guy who can take orders fairly well, so you don't really have to worry about him, butting heads against a leader. If it came down to it, I think he could be your leader.
He could.
He's got a nice jacket, can ride a motorcycle. And all the ladies love him, so you can get all of his leftovers pretty easily.
There was a picture I saw. It was ladies. The ladies. It was a picture of him, and it said, "The ladies love me and want to sleep with me. I haven't washed my balls in 4 years."
Yeah, that's very true.
So I mean, that's some moxie.
So let's play this out. So Dean and Daryl go head to head. 10 fights, I would probably say 6-4 either one.
Yeah.
Maybe even 5-5.
Yeah.
Because I think they're very similar characters.
They are very similar characters. That kind of gritty, kind of, don't take no shit kind of thing.
I think the only thing that Dean might have worse than Daryl is he's a little bit more cocky, so that might cost him in certain situations, but Daryl's just got that more humbleness to him that, he's just going to take the situation as it is and go with it, where Dean might have a little quip here or there that, might cost you.
Yeah, yeah.
But, so my second round, I'm going to go with Daryl Dixon.
All right. Let's see. Round number 2.
Second pick in round 2.
You know what? I got 7 to go. I'm going pick number 2. We just talked about it earlier. I'm going with Buffy Summers.
Okay. Sell me on Buffy Summers, no Slayer powers, knows a little bit of karate.
Not just a
Um,
little bit.
well, I'm gonna throw this out there. When she lost her powers, she tried to hit that jock, and he kind of handled her pretty well.
Well, that may be true. But a jock is far different from a soft, squishy zombie. Number
That's
one.
true.
Number two, it's all about technique. And she got some technique. Number
Yeah.
two. Okay. Number three, not only does she have extensive hand to hand combat training, very extensive weapon training, crossbow, swords,
That's true.
and not just like, like guns and shit. Never, actually, I think she, in the entire time on that show, she shot a gun once and it was a missile launcher.
That's true.
So, I mean, yes, no gun training, but, you don't have to reload a sword.
That's a good point.
So like I'm standing behind Dean and Buffy, like is there anything I really have to worry about?
Well, I think Dean could handle himself fairly well, but I think if Buffy got surrounded, she could have some trouble. Because you're looking at a Buffy that's never really been in a firefight. I think she's
Well,
equivalent
yeah, but the
to,
zombies aren't shooting guns. It's not like she's got to worry about bullets.
Well, I mean, a horde of zombies is tough to defend yourself against.
She did it.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Buffy Summers.
Did you just pick her so you can see her in like torn clothing?
Maybe.
And the problem you're gonna have is, if she's the only lady that's on your team, you're gonna kind of be like, hey Buffy, I'm the leader, and Dean's gonna be over there. He's like, you know what, Buffy, I love pie.
Yeah.
You got any pie? Hey, where's Dean and Buffy at? You guys get back here.
Buffy, do you like dragons?
That's awesome.
Dragging it on your face. That's terrible.
That's
That's horrible. Why do you make me say things like that? You're a terrible person. All right, that's
So-
it. Pick number 2, Buff Summers. Go.
All right, so pick number 3. This is the guy I probably would give, this, if I'm going to be the leader, I'd probably give him the second in command. And I might even just let him run the show just because he seems like the guy that would be able to kind of run the show, if you will. He mans a giant wall of ice right now. You got to get rid of all the mysticism, but he can handle a sword and a bow, and I believe he can do a crossbow as well. I'm going to go with the leader on the wall, Jon Snow.
Ooh.
So this is a guy that can lead a big group. He's kind of got the fighting zombie thing right now, but you could probably throw that out because in this world he probably never would have been involved in that. But another guy that would have probably been in some type of police enforcement type scenario. So
He is kind of young though. A little bit naive.
yeah, he's in the books he's like 16 or so. I guess that's probably what he is in the movie, even though he's like 18
Yeah,
or
I
19 or
mean,
20 something or life.
Kind of young.
He's a little young, but he can handle a sword with the best of them. Bows as well. I would assume that if this guy was kind of put into our world, he probably would know how to handle a firearm.
Possibly.
And he's got that awesome hair too.
Oh, he does. Gorgeous mane on that man.
He probably it'd be difficult because he's probably gonna be in England because of his accent, but he'd be a guy you could trust. He's gonna follow the straight and narrow. I think, like I said, he'd probably be some kind of police officer.
You always pick the goody goodies.
I like good guys because they're the ones you can trust.
Blah,
Dean and
blah,
Buffy.
blah, blah, blah.
Dean and Buffy are going to be, taking care of each other in the back while you're fighting all the zombies.
Whatever. Dean and Buffy, or Dean is going to be taking care of something, and I will be dealing with other things of a summer's nature.
All right, so my third round pick, I'm going to go with Jon Snow.
All right. Not bad. Okay, but we're overlooking one point. Is we need some. I need a medic. I need a field medic. I need somebody that's gonna, be able to bandage up wounds, gonna be able to see what the fuck's going on with people, how to fix people, shit like that. Does come with a handicap, I will say that. This guy has problems.
I'm getting nervous. Who is it? Who's your pick?
I'm going with Dr. Gregory House
Okay.
to take care of all my medical needs.
So yeah, he does have a little bit of a drug problem.
Bit of a drug problem and a bit of a limp.
Is that so? That's he's super intelligent though. I mean, he can figure out whatever issues you have, and he'll keep you all bandaged
and know
up.
exactly what to use to treat it.
So I know an example in The Walking Dead, Bob has an alcohol problem, and that almost cost him in a certain scenario. Do you think Dr. House could be clean enough to fight that, or do you think that would be, be in a hospital and he starts gathering up the wrong drugs?
I don't know. I mean, it's just Vicodin, but the Vicodin I see more as a psychological crutch than an actual physical one. I mean, Of course, it has physical effects, but I see it something that he can either overcome or at least manage. And I'm totally fine with having someone with a substance abuse problem. I'm totally fine with having that on my team.
Well, there's nothing that's going to get you clean like not being able to access that stuff. So if you guys get held up long enough that he can kind of clean himself out, and he might see that he's part of a smaller group that he's needed a lot more, maybe he will maybe he'll get rid of that.
This is true. You never know.
So, what has there been any episodes? I don't know much about House, but that you could say is the main episode that'd be his training for the zombie apocalypse?
No, not really. He's just he's a very smart, very brilliant person. Also able to, that's I don't have to worry about, breaking a leg or getting gangrene or anything like that.
Did he have any does he have any like emergency room experience, do you know? Or is all his stuff more like
well, he's a goddamn
like
doctor
type stuff? Well, I know that, but
no, I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure a slight amount, as all do, possibly.
All right. Well, I'll give you that. So anything he should be able to kind of help with, at least have a better idea than anybody else. And I think with Dean too, because they've been stitching each other up, he's probably going to be able to help a little bit as well.
Yeah, like field medic almost.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Dean's starting to look pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he's all right. I think I got somebody else though that could probably take Dean pretty well.
All right.
He's got a crutch too, but I think in this world, it'd be less of a problem just because of the situation we would be in. I'm gonna reach into the Joss Whedon bag and pull out this guy. I'm gonna bring out, and this is a bad boy too. He's not your goody two shoes kind of guy.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with the man they call Jane Cobb. Knows how to handle a weapon. I think the biggest problem you have with Jane Cobb is that he's always about the money, always about the dough. Who's going to pay me the most?
Not just about the money. I think he's always about, making sure that he comes out on top. And I'm sorry, but if there's one thing I don't want, it's dissension in the ranks.
But I think he just gives that facade off because in this world there's no money, so there's no way to get any kind of financial gain from stabbing people in the back. But if you look at the last, the Serenity movie, he fairly easily could have left every one of those people to fight the Reavers on their own and left. But he stuck it out with them and, essentially helped them survive.
All right. Yeah, fair
so
enough.
I think he's going to give that facade off, being like, it's all about me. But when push comes to shove, I think he's going to have that person right next to him. Because he does have honor. Well, kind of. Except when it comes to money. But in this world, since it's a zombie apocalypse, there is no money.
Okay. All right. Not bad. I still see some gaping holes in your team so far here.
I don't know. I've got some pretty decent setup here.
I mean,
you've got a guy who can shoot. You've got a girl and then you got a doctor with a substance abuse.
Where did that come from? You got a girl.
I mean, she's just a cheerleader, you know? I mean, yeah, she can kind of handle some weapons, but what is she without her slayerness?
Would you want her on your team? Okay, then.
I mean, she'd be like an 8th or 9th pick, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So we're on number 4. Number 4. Let's see what I have on my list here. All right. I think I've got my muscle handled. I've definitely got. Okay. What I need now what I need is I need a planner. I need a tactician. I need, if we're going on raids, I need someone that can think. I need someone that can think superbly well and have a very clear thought out plan that goes off without a hitch. For my 4th pick, I am going with the character of Sherlock Holmes.
You're going with, I'm guessing, the Cumberbatch, or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Benedict fucking Cumberbatch.
So now you have 2 people with substance abuse issues.
He had a substance abuse issue, and it was over. He had one. Nicotine patch, I would say, is probably his only crutch.
And I don't think he's really very good, like, with hand-to-hand combat.
He's fluent in karate.
Is he really?
He is.
Oh, I didn't see him.
The character Sherlock Holmes in the books, like, okay, in the books, like, he was a master at kung fu.
Well, okay, I'll give you that, because even if he wasn't, he hasn't shown any of that in the TV show. But I could buy that he would have learned that somehow. Well, I guess he did. Well, I take that back. When that one lady was kidnapped, he did infiltrate that group and save her by himself.
True. Also, in the beginning of the 2nd episode of the 1st season, he's fighting off that guy with the sword.
That's true. So yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess he is really good at hand-to-hand combat.
And it's true. In the books, he actually was he was a master of kung fu, which it was. He didn't really use it all that much, but it was, Well, I mean, look at the movies with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I mean, there's some scenes in there where he's fighting people off pretty
right. I mean,
well.
like he's thinking out like how to, okay, they do this, and then I'll do this, and then this happens, and then I'll do this, and
I wonder how he would handle that zombie apocalypse, because I would see him being the person that if he saw the situation and determined that his odds of surviving are better if he leaves and leaves everybody else there, if he would take that and run.
That's possible, but I think that his logic would dictate that at the very least he has 6 people he can use for cannon fodder.
7 counting you.
7 counting me.
Sounds like a dick.
True, but he's my dick.
Did you just pick this so you can see Benedict Cumberbatch in like torn up clothes and his chest protruding?
No. He's like 6'0" and lanky.
No, I see where this is going. I see you've got a little man crush on Benedict Cumberbatch.
I do have a man crush on Benedict Cumberbatch, but that's besides the point.
So you throw Buffy in there first to throw everybody off the trail. That's like, I guess for my 4th pick, I'll pick, Benedict fucking Cumberbatch.
Don't you worry about it.
All right, that's all right. What
I do in a zombie apocalypse is none of your business.
All right. So 5th round, I've got somebody who can help us survive. I've got 2 guys who are pretty good muscle. I've got a guy who can lead really well. I was a little nervous when you were talking about a medic, but I am going to pick a medic who has been in a firefight, has been on a front line of a war, who survived numerous years in this war.
Okay.
He can make you booze out of pretty much nothing, so he kind of has a substance abuse with booze, but Always has a good
All
time.
right.
I'm going to go with one of my favorite doctors ever from the TV series MASH. I'm going to go with Hawkeye Pierce. This guy, you get cut like Dr. House is kind of like, oh, I have a tummy ache. What's wrong
This
with me?
was
It's like, oh,
Alan Alda's character, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's going to be wisecracking. He's going to make you laugh when the times are good. He's going to be able to make us boost. We all get together, have fun. He survived so long in the war. He kind of broke at the end, but I think he would be able to kind of overcome that if he had a strong group. Because I think the problem in the show is that all the people that he loved were always leaving because either were killed or got away or were able to leave the war.
Yeah, because I mean,
so you might have some of
most
that.
people that came back from Vietnam were totally normal.
No.
hmm.
But I mean, he's going to be he always whenever they needed him in there to fix somebody up or somebody had a gaping wound from being attacked or explosions, gunfire, he was able to stitch them up. That I can't remember what they call it. Is it spaghetti surgery or
I have no idea. None.
I can't remember what they called it. But I mean, he's going to be able to handle those situations and be able to suture you up and save you because that's what you're realistically going to happen in these kinds of things. Like there might be some sicknesses going around. Which he'd probably be able to help you with. But for the most part, it's going to be, like wounds from cuts, broken legs, getting scratches from different things or shot at by other people. Those are the things he'd be able to take care of and keep you safe and
Okay.
keep you moving forward.
All right. All right.
So my 5th round pick, I'm going to go with Hawkeye Pierce.
Was that was the longest running show until actually no, the finale of that show was like the most popular show in history for like ever. I don't know. It eventually got beat, but I don't remember what beat it.
I think a couple Super Bowls have beat it by now. It was kind of funny because it was the number one for like the longest time. And after it got beat by a Super Bowl, I can't remember if it was Alan Alda or who it was from that show, but they said it's like, well, that's not really true because do you know how many people were, had like watch parties to watch the finale of MASH? And they're like, well, do you know how many people have watch parties to watch the Super Bowl?
Right, right.
That 2% of people that don't watch the Super Bowl are at somebody's house watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna go with a doctor on here for us to keep us, safe and sutured up. I'm gonna go with Hawkeye Pierce.
All right. Let's see. Who am I gonna go with? Okay. You know what? Let's see. What are we on? We're on 5. I guess I need to take care of a survivalist. I guess I need someone. I guess I need to, have somebody that knows how to build a fucking fire, apparently. So I'm kind of shooting from the hip at this one, and this is kind of more for the humor of it. But for pick number 5, I'm going with Bear Grylls. Hey, Bear!
Get back here, Bear!
Zombie Bear! I want to be
Oh,
is that? So basically, I will be totally fine in the wilderness until the zombies become bears, and then I will lose that member.
But if Bear Grylls gets bit, you have your zombie bear.
That's true.
Yeah, I know he knows a lot. I think what you're gonna have with him is he's gonna be like, you guys will have plenty of water and food. He's like, no, we got to piss in our mouths to conserve all the water.
Right.
And it's like, Bear, we're fine. We've got like months worth of water. He's like, oh, but it tastes so good. I think he'd be able to be pretty helpful. I'm kind of curious if how much of his, because I don't know a whole lot about him. I just know whenever I watched his shows, they were more they're more TV shows than actual surviving shows.
Okay.
Because he had his own camera crew and he always did like really like things you would never seem to really do like in the situation he was in. Whereas like the Survivor Man, he was like, okay, this is the situation I'm in. I need to do this. Where like he was like, oh, if you're stuck on a raft in the middle of the ocean, you can drink your pee 6 times and then pee and drink it.
Yeah.
But he does have a lot of good equipment out there you can buy He's got a lot of branding out there, so he should come with a surplus of goods. That should
Exactly.
help you out.
When I pick him, I also get the Bear Grylls Survivor kit.
And he can make a fire. I don't think he can play the harmonica though.
True. But I mean, give a little, get a little.
Would you nickname him Zombie Bear?
I probably would. And then
How long?
And then we'd be walking through the halls, and I couldn't find him. I'd be like, "Hey, Bear! Bear!
It's your friend, Bear!" It's like, damn it, Rich, stop calling me that.
What's your name?
All right. That's a good pick. He's not no Survivor man.
No,
but,
he is
you
no
know.
Survivor man, but I'll be totally fine until we run into some bears. And then I'm screwed.
All right, well, so the 6th round, I don't have any ladies on my team, so I think that's something that is very, very important.
Yeah, you're living in Sausage Fest over there.
It's a little sausage heavy. So I'm gonna go with a girl that has shown she can survive in combat.
All right.
She knows how to handle a bow. She can hunt.
Oh God.
She's a little standoffish, but it's zombie apocalypse. So I can try and talk her into being my friend, I guess. I'm gonna go with one of the I forgot what he's even called. One of the tributes from the Hunger Games. I'm gonna go with Katniss Everdeen.
I knew it.
What? And plus,
Oh,
Jennifer Lawrence is pretty smoking hot.
I'm friends with a 14-year-old girl. Wow.
And we even got our call sign. We've already got our whistle down.
Okay. Now we're making the point. Now you made it a point to say, "Hey, I need a girl on my team because for reasons." How old are we talking here for?
She's 8. She's 18, I think. Supposed to be.
Yeah, that's everybody's famous last words before the cell door closes. She's 18, I think.
Well, in real life, she's like 32. But yeah, I think when they get to their first tribute, it's up. Is it up to 18? Because it was like her last year.
I don't know. I
Fuck.
I never read the book because.
You just turned this into a Dateline special.
Yes, I did. No, I think you did, and I'm just calling it. By the way, Sean, I'm Chris Hansen. Dateline NBC.
You know that girl that is of age but plays a girl that's not aged yet?
And I just want to make it a point that you just said on something that you've recorded and are now putting out on the internet. I mean, we all know Buffy's 18. Like, she graduated high school. She graduated high school years ago. She went to college. And
I'm going with of age Katniss Everdeen.
okay. All right. Let's put that disclaimer up there.
Way to turn that one around.
Dodge that
jerk.
bullet.
Damn it. Pick your 6th pick, asshole.
No, I think we should delve into this a bit further. So, Sean. No, I'm kidding. All right. Pick number 6. I need some comic relief. I need somebody that's going to make me laugh in the worst of situations.
You know who's going to make me laugh? Hawkeye Pierce.
I'm going with better than Hawkeye Pierce because, as per usual, I pick better. So what I'm going with, pick number 6, a man who can find humor in any situation and would also be one of the best people to be around in any situation and has been proven to do well in a zombie apocalypse situation.
Oh, shit.
I am going with pick number 6, Mr. Bill Murray.
All right, Bill Murray. That would be. I think that would be very easy comic relief there. You'd be able to find the humor in any
It
situation.
would. Plus, I mean, like, I'd spend my entire time being like, so that thing about you at the wedding party, is that true? What about that thing with you in the golf cart? Is that's true?
This is the stories you could get from him if you had like just the eternity to do that with.
There was
I wonder.
there was one
Oh, go ahead.
story where apparently he picked up a taxi cab driver, or he was in a taxi cab, and they were talking to the driver. He was talking to the driver, and he was like, what did you want? You didn't want to be a taxi driver. Like, what did you want to do? And he said, honestly, I wanted to be a saxophone player. I wanted to be a professional saxophone player. He's like, well, you should do that. Like, do you have a saxophone? He's like, I got a saxophone in the back of my car. So so they're driving to his house, which from the airport they landed at, it was like 2 hours or something. So the whole time they're driving to the airport, apparently Bill is driving the cab while this guy is in the back seat playing a saxophone. And they like stop and get food at some barbecue joint at one point. And like Bill walks in to pick up the food as the taxi cab driver, while the cab driver is sitting outside the car playing a saxophone.
Yeah, I think you've told me the story. Like he'll walk into bars and like walk over to somebody and like take fries off their plate, take a big bite, put it back on their plate, and be like, nobody's gonna believe
Right?
you.
I've heard that
Turns around
story
and walks
too.
away.
There's the story about him and Wu-Tang Clan in the.
I haven't heard this story.
There's a story of him. Apparently, he was during South by Southwest. He was in a bar in Austin with some members of the Wu-Tang Clan, and he decides he's going to tend bar.
Oh yeah, okay, I've heard this.
So he gets behind the bar, and no matter what anybody orders, he just pours them a shot of tequila. So somebody walks up and be like, yeah, can I get a rum and coke? And he pours them a shot of tequila. Whiskey.
There's your rum and coke.
Whiskey sour, please. The shot of tequila. And he just did that the entire night.
I'm curious. I'd like to see like you wonder if he's really like if he's down to earth kind of guy like that, or if he's just doesn't care like because he's so famous and has enough money that he can do whatever he wants.
I think it's the latter. Honestly, I think that's it. I think it's just like he just doesn't give a shit, and he has so much money, and he just it just seems like he has so much money. But on top of that, he's just like, whatever. Like, he doesn't care. It seems like he doesn't give a shit that he has a lot of money. He just, it's like the means to an end for him.
Yeah. Which I think would translate really well to the zombie apocalypse because it's like, well, I could die tomorrow, so I'll do whatever the fuck I need to do.
And also, let's not forget Zombieland.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in that movie. I mean, he died in that movie. But that wasn't his fault.
So you run that risk. He could try to play a joke on somebody, end up getting killed. But he did get to play on golf courses in his zombie gear, so he might be able to teach you how to get around.
True.
God, could you imagine like drinking beer with Bill Murray on a golf course during the zombie apocalypse and just like, no big deal, zombies ignoring you because he knows how to get away with it.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
And then the whole time I'd just be like, so who'd you bang? So like,
yeah.
Sigourney Weaver, it had to happen just once. Tell me it happened once.
That'd be. I wonder if like you get like somebody like that, like they've only been with like 3 people in their whole life. Like, would you be kind of let down?
What? I really don't think so. I mean, he seems like the guy that just has like the vagina thrown at him, like spare change. I think.
But yeah, so I'm seeing a little trend here. So yeah, Bill Murray, and Dean Winchester in there now. So Buffy might be looking away from their leader Richard.
No, see, because I'm still top dog. I'm Charlie in this instance. Like I'm the voice on the intercom. I'm the guiding light.
It's awesome. All right, Bill Murray.
Sixth pick.
All right.
Top that.
All right. So this is gonna be a tough one on my 7th round. I got a couple of decent choices. I think I'm gonna go with this guy. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, and I'm gonna say the name. I'm not sure if you're gonna remember the name or not, but this is a guy who's a prepper,
Okay.
so he's gonna have a ton of
All
resources.
right.
He knows how to handle, kind of any kind of big game, and of course in this universe he hasn't fought this big game, but worms in the underground he knows how to handle. I'm gonna go with Burt Gummer. He's the big guy from Tremors.
Oh wow! Played by Michael Gross.
It's the uncle from all the National Lampoons, right?
No, it was for the dad in Family Ties. Michael J. Fox's dad in Family Ties. I want to say his name's Michael Gross. I know his last name's Gross.
Yeah, Michael
Yeah,
Gross.
yeah.
Okay, I always thought that those two looked alike. The guy from all the National Lampoons movies.
That's an oddball pick.
Well, I had a tough time trying to figure out where to go on my picks, and it just clicked in my head. It's like I need a prepper, and then right away I went to the Tremors movie because he had all kinds of arsenal.
This is
in
true.
his-
He did.
his gear.
He did.
So this is the guy, like, you could get in his place and be fortified and safe. So when you and Dean, after Dean gets done, messing around with Buffy, try to come and take
Here
over
we
our
go,
land,
Here we go.
we're going to be in this fortified fort with all kinds of ammunition and ammo. And before you can even get near us and get past the landmines, we'll be noticing like one or two of you being able to survive.
Okay. All right. Let's see. That's okay. So by your theory that I'm going to have to fight through the defenses of a weirdo in the middle of the Arizona desert. This is your plan.
Yeah, well, I think we'll be pretty safe. I mean, I can't remember what his house was set up like, but if you put him in today's age, I would imagine he would have a ridiculously fortified home. He'd probably be prepping for zombies. If not, he'd be prepping for that, end time scenario. So I think we'd be fairly safe. Probably have plenty of food, ammo, shelter. I think we'd be in a pretty good setup at his place.
Okay. I mean, I'll give it to you. I think that I think he's a bit too military. So I wonder, like, once the MREs run out, if he might panic a little bit.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean,
know
I will say, I will definitely say he does have a a very a decent stockpile. But I mean, how long stockpiles don't last forever.
That's true. But I mean, with your guys, you're kind of starting out pretty limited, so you're going to be hurting for stockpile. I mean, I guess you could eat Bill Murray's jokes.
Ooh,
Oh,
probably could, and they'd be delicious.
So my last pick
All
on
right.
this dominating
I
dominating
must say,
zombie
I like
apocalypse team.
the idea of the prepper, so I might
Mhm.
have to go. I might have to go with that. But let's see. Okay, all right, okay. I'm going with somebody that is not only a prepper, but is also very fluent in survival skills, also very apt and able with a gun, also very fluent in kind of clandestine secret kind of work. Kind of a pick. You might not know this, but I'm going with Marvin Boggs from the movie Red, played by John Malkovich.
Okay, that's kind of on the same scale as Burt Gumner.
It
He's a little
is,
bit more-
but a lot cooler. A lot cooler.
John Malkovich is pretty cool. He'd be a cool guy to hang out with. So is he? He's the guy that's got a big stockpile of ammo and everything, right?
He's got a big stock. I mean, like in the first movie, they go to his place and he has a bunker. He has a bunker set up in an abandoned missile silo. He has a house. He's like, no, the house is just a cover. Opens up the hood of a decrepit, rusted car, and there's steps that lead down to his bunker. That's right, his bunker.
But he's in all kinds of like different level of crazy though, right? Like doesn't he shoot at them when they first get there?
Yes, he does.
So
But
I
he
mean,
doesn't shoot at them after that.
you...
So there's that.
So do you think, he's not going to cause any ruckus in his bunker with all of you guys in there?
No. Especially
I'm
when
saying
Bill Murray's there. I'm going to
You
walk
got-
down there.
you-
He's going to be like, holy shit, you're Bill Murray.
You've got a team of like all kinds of crazy.
I
When
do.
you think about it.
I do. And I
Dean's
love
a
it.
little Dean's a little bit of a loose
Dean's
cannon
a
at
little
times.
off.
House.
Buffy's fairly normal. House has his issues. I mean Sherlock, he calls himself a non-violent sociopath.
And then you got the crazy one who kind of runs the roost
I
with
have-
Marvin
I have
Boggs.
Marvin Boggs, who is taking LSD for. He was doped with LSD for X amount of years.
I feel like my team can handle yours pretty well.
What? My team's
not-
coming out like wild card.
I think your team's going to kind of self-destruct from within, and mine's
I
going to be
don't see this
pretty
at
solid. It's just going to take one domino to fall.
With your sausage fest
She's
and 14-year-old girl.
not 14, she's 18. All right. Marvin Boggs. All right, well let me round this out and we'll do a little
And
recap.
even if like let's say you guys come in and wipe my team out, guess where I'm at? I'm hanging out in the boudoir with Buffy fucking Summers.
It's true. After Dean and
No, they get my seconds.
I don't know. I think you guys walk out and you see that car and Buffy's like, "Oh, is that your car, Richard?"
Aw.
And Dean's like, baby, that's mine. That's all right, though. I mean, I bet you guys could be friends.
Right, and then you're, that was terrible. That's
That was
terrible,
terrible.
and I don't know why you make me do these things.
All right, so let's do a little recap. All right, so for Rich's team, he's got Dean Winchester, Buffy Summers, Dr. House, Sherlock Holmes, Bear Grylls, Bill Murray, and
Yeah.
Marvin Boggs.
Oh, come on. Like, how is that not a team of fucking... That's the A team. That is the
House
A
is gonna
team.
House is going to be doing drugs with Holmes. Bear Grylls is going to be drinking his pee. Bill Murray is going to be telling jokes, and Marvin Boggs is going to be playing the death of all you.
Yep.
I'm telling you, one domino falls, craziness will ensue. All right, let's go with the team that's going to survive this and start the new world. We've got Les Stroud, the Survivor Man, Daryl Dixon, Jon Snow, Jane Cobb, Hawkeye Pierce, Katniss Everdeen, and Burt Gumner.
It's not bad. I will say
I think it's a good team.
It's not bad. It's pretty good. Do you find it weird that we each only picked one girl?
I had a couple on my list, and well, let's. So the other women I had on my list, I had Faith,
Oh, I have faith too.
because she's a little bit crazy. Because even you take away the slayerness, I think she would be a fighter.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. They never really explain if the craziness came from being a slayer or if she like was already crazy. And the other one I picked, which I probably would actually pick over Faith, I had Zoe from Firefly.
Yeah, not
I think
bad.
she'd be a great tactician. She knows arms. She'd be a solid pick.
I had Kaylee because she was really good with machines.
That's a good one.
That was so I had Faith, I had Kaylee. Trying to look at my list here. I had Sky from Agents of Shield, which if you haven't seen the mid-season finale, holy shit. Holy shit.
I haven't.
Well, then never mind, but oh my god.
Craziness.
Very much so. They set up a movie that's not going to be that we're not going to see for like at least another 2 years.
Oh wow.
And I'm curious if they're actually going to put people on the show in the movie because it almost seemed like they might be going that way.
That's what they're building
It
towards.
seemed well. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I'll leave it there.
So the other people I had Glenn from Walking Dead. He's a pretty good scavenger.
I did have Daryl. Daryl was like towards the top. Daryl was actually on there for number 4. I had Bruce Campbell.
That's I kind of thought about him too, but I don't know enough about him to sell him if I picked him.
Yeah. For tactician, I also had Tywin Lannister, but I picked him for the villain draft.
Yeah. I had Casey Jones. He's a little bit of muscle.
Of course you had Casey Jones.
I had Indiana Jones. I thought that would be a pretty decent
That wouldn't
pick.
be bad. That wouldn't be bad. I had Han Solo. Han Solo was there.
I thought about Han Solo, yeah.
Um,
I think I always kind of feel like he'd be the guy that might leave if things got too bad. But he does always come back, I guess, so.
He did. Came back right at the end of A New Hope. Yahoo!
For my Bill Murray, if you will, I was going to pick Joss Whedon. I figured he'd be a guy who kind of tell you some stories and keep everybody entertained.
See, I didn't pick him because then him and Buffy would hang out too much.
He's like, I created you, right?
Right.
And then my other one, which I thought would be kind of interesting, because I mean, what's a podcast? What's one of our podcasts that we can't bring Jaws into it? So I was gonna pick Brody. He killed a fucking shark. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because I mean that doesn't happen. I mean nobody kills sharks. Like you could pick, I don't know, anybody.
I would
that could-
just be behind him whenever he's getting ready to shoot. He's like, "Oh, say smile, you son of a bitch. Say smile, you son of a bitch. Smile, you son of a bitch." He got another one.
I thought you'd pick. I figured you'd pick the old guy. I can't think of his name.
Not
Not Richard Dreyfuss, but the other
I was
guy.
gonna say Hoopa. Hoopa.
Opa.
Let me look real quick.
I can't think of his name, but the old guy. That way, you'd have somebody that's slightly drunk and gets to like hum a little ditty every now and again.
Is his name Quint?
Yes.
Okay. Quint. Is he dead? Robert Shaw? Yeah, he's dead. He died in 78.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he died on August 28th, 1978.
Wow. How do you feel?
Feel bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he died 3 years after Jaws. Jaws killed him. He was so scared. I feel you. I feel you, Quint. All right.
Oh dear God.
This was our greatest draft ever.
Ever.
All right. Well, all right. I'm doing some housekeeping.
Do it.
All right. Follow us at Twitter. We're at Language of Bro. You can email us at languageofbromance@gmail.com. Our website's languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook and leave us a comment and subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher.
It's radio. And also, you can find us on
Pod Bros, the best podcast site network on the internet.
Ooh. At least it is now. Booyah!
Yeah. All right. Well, anything before we close her out?
No.
All right.
I was
Well, I guess
I was
that's-
trying to do something good, and I think I'm
Stop
making
it.
it worse. So I'm just
Stop it.
being quiet.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Sean.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver. Zombie!